Hi Josie, it's Fancy, and I am looking at your proposal for your design. And I understand that you started out working with visual pathways, and then you discovered that you had these cool little rosettes that the module was forming. So your gradations within your pathways they're very lovely. Um, they gradate very nicely. So how can we tighten up this? Oh, and I love your palette too. I love that purple. It's beautiful. Um, so how can you tighten up this design for your packaging? So now, one goal when we were working on visual pathways was to be able to follow the visual pathway, and your visual pathways seem to be kind of crisscrossing, I think. So make sure they're not too complicated. Most of them I can follow. So I'm looking, it seems to go here, but then it goes there and there. So sometimes it might be a little bit hard to follow your pathways. Here, 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 here. So that's one thing. Make sure we can follow your pathways pretty easily, but they are very balanced, obviously. Then I was looking at, so it seems like you have two rosettes that form. You kind of have this cross or X, and then you have kind of this other cross or X, but it's different. It's squared off here. Maybe this one is more three-dimensional. I haven't decided exactly how I see them yet, or how you can change them. Um, they are pretty small points of emphasis, and I'm guessing that you're calling points of emphasis because you're trying to gradate away from the center, and I don't necessarily think that you can gradate from this one before it kind of interrupts the visual pathway that surrounds it. Let's take a look at this one. This one might be a little bit easier to gradate, but I just don't think it's going to gradate. I wouldn't call it a point of emphasis, I just don't think you have enough area to gradate away from it sufficiently. You do, however, have it so that it integrates within the pathways because, here at the edge where these values are light and the pathway is light, then it kind of moves in and out. So there's kind of a nice figure ground relationship there. So what can we do to tighten these up? Your gradations are nice. You could think about cleaning up your pathways a little bit, just making sure that you can follow those pathways. But how can we structure these vignettes a little bit more? So they do repeat across rows and down columns. So that's very nice and tidy. Or maybe you don't need to do anything at all. I would clean up the pathways first and see how that affects them, if that affects them at all. That would be my big suggestion before you start on your packaging. But again, I love the palette. These colors are very similar in value in a lot of ways. And this is kind of a parent color of this child color, so they relate well. They're analogous. They're next to each other on the color wheel. So I look forward to seeing what you do. Think about it a little bit more and go from there.